Hello everyone, Violet here, and today we're going to take a look at a collective reading for this full moon in Pisces. It is a blue moon as well, so that means it's the second full moon in August, and it is going to be Wednesday, August 30th. Did I do that right? Yes, okay. Excellent. So I actually went through my entire collection of Oracle and Tarot decks and pulled out all of the blue cards. So you might remember that we did something similar for the pink moon. We pulled out all of the pink cards and read from those. And for this one, it's going to be all of the blue cards for the blue moon. And it works out because this is the full moon in Pisces. And I think of Pisces as being the collective ocean of intuition and collective symbols and psychic information, connecting to spirituality in a very fluid way. It's a water sign. So I'm so excited to do this reading, and definitely let me know what you think. If you're here watching this as a live premiere, let me know in the chat, and also if you're watching this in the future, let me know in the comments. We are going to also be offering this as a individual reading on Monday, tomorrow, live on this channel. So if you want to get an individual reading for this, make sure you've got your notifications turned on. And otherwise, let's get into this collective reading. All right, so let's begin. So since these are all different sizes, it's kind of tricky to shuffle them. So I'm just going to go ahead and let them fall how they want. What is our first message that wants to come out here? We have the Queen of Swords. I'm going to get a couple of them out. Okay. Wow, and the King of Air. So from two different decks, we've got the Queen of Swords and the King of Air. Okay, so this feels like communication between different energies. And I think that since we are in Pisces, and I was like having the thought as I was pulling these of like spirit guides and getting messages from spirit guides, and we're in the element of air, we're in swords, which is very much communication messages. I feel like this is, however you relate to yourself and relate to your spiritual guides. We've kind of got a combination of different energies. We've got sort of more receptive feminine energy, we've got more projective masculine energy, and I think this is kind of about the balance between the two, and specifically the communication between the two. So I also see this as I almost see this as representing us. This was the first one that came out, the Queen of Swords. So we're in the receiving position, and then the King of Air, the King of Swords, is like the higher realm, higher guides, like projecting messages down. But we have to be in a state of reception in order to receive them. Let's see what else comes out here. I've been thinking about this actually lately. Wow, guide. Yes, a guide, a mentor, a trustworthy ally. Okay, so that's total confirmation. Yes, I think this is about communicating with your guides. It's funny because lately, in fact, today, I had this experience of seeing two four-leaf clovers. We were going to a new area, a new place that it has a community we want to be a part of, and just happened to look at the ground and seeing two different four-leaf clovers, and that's been a symbol throughout my life of being on the right track. It's got very specific meanings to me. It's very magical, but it's something that I encounter a lot. And I had this feeling like, you know what? Seeing these four-leaf clovers, it's not something to just brush off, and it is a sign. It does mean something, and like maybe acknowledging that more so with the weight of it, letting it actually affect the way we think about things can allow us to be in better touch with our guides. So let's see what else wants to come out here. Course correct. Oh my gosh, this is coming through so clear. So once again, I was feeling like these signs are sort of like little breadcrumbs, like I'm on the right path, or if they mean specific things, maybe it's like, hey, pay attention in this direction. or it's time to balance out this area of life. It's like course correct. This is allowing us, if we're willing to receive, if we are willing to receive the messages, it's allowing us to actually kind of navigate our path. And I think that the full moon, think about the full moon as being this this point in the cycle in which things are the most illuminated. So the full moon is like, hey, these signs and these messages are the most clear right now. It's interesting too, because it's Mercury retrograde, isn't it? So maybe our communication with other people, and our like relationship with technology and that sort of thing, maybe that's a little bit jumbled. But what we can do is we can get more clear. We can get in touch with that inner Pisces. We all have all of the different signs represented within us. So that inner intuitive space, and that is actually where we find our clear communication at this time. Okay, let's see what else wants to come out. Make sure I put these back together the right way. It's so fun having so many different kinds of cards. All right, what else do we need to hear? We've got 5 of water, so like the 5 of cups, which indicates loss, but to me it also indicates like letting go, like a release, and a release of emotions to allow something to let go. I want to see what else wants to come through with that one. Okay, any messages with that as well? Sacred ocean medicine, clutter, declutter, and choice. I think this is a message about actually being willing to let something go so that you aren't carrying more baggage along this path, along this course that you're being guided on. So, for example, let's say that something has been tugging away, has been pulling away in our lives. This clutter and declutter and choice, it's like we choose what we want to bring with us. But the thing is, we might not be consciously choosing that. If we are not allowing the emotion to move through us and exit, then we might actually be carrying that repressed emotion, that pushed down emotion with us onto the next steps. And it might be weighing us down. So I feel like this relates to me as well. And so perhaps this is a collective experience of, there were things that I was really missing recently. I felt like I've lost this. Like this, it doesn't even exist anymore, what it is that I'm missing. And the longing for that and the kind of desire to, go backwards and go back to it somehow felt like it was somewhat healed with this community that we were connecting to actually today, that I was seeing those signs, those 4-leaf clovers. It was like, wait a second, the essence of what it is that I'm missing exists here, even though this is a different experience, this is a different place. So it feels to me like letting go of maybe the more literal like interpretations of the things that have exited my life that I miss, and allowing for space for the new energy to come in. I might actually get something that does replace that missing piece, but it's now a part of this next chapter in my journey. This is in your journey. I feel like this is a collective thing then. Also, full moons are wonderful times to release as well. Okay, what else wants to come in? Any messages? 8 of Cups, choosing to walk away. So for some of you, and this feels more like maybe some people listening, when you heard that message right now, it might be something that actually hasn't fully exited your life. I feel like some of you might actually have to make the choice to walk away and walk what will become towards something more suitable on your path right now. But you might actually have to actively walk away from whatever this was. Okay. Let's get another card. So I don't have a number of cards in mind. I'm just going to keep going until the message is complete. King Tide, plenty, prosperity, receiving the fullness of life. So I wonder if this is a part of the message as well, is that if you're putting yourself, and let me bring this card back up. if you're putting yourself in the receptive energy, receiving messages and allowing the messages to actually guide your path and maybe change your direction, then what ends up happening is you're also putting yourself in a state of reception of blessings, in a state of reception of like what it is that life wants to offer you at this time, receiving the fullness of life, plenty and prosperity. And don't worry, if you're letting something go, this feels like something very emotional, something very connected to your heart, very connected to, for me, it was a sense of community, and an in-person community that used to be, but it doesn't really exist anymore, to be honest. But for other people, I feel like it could be talking about relationship. It could be talking about like a deep, like more so person to person, one-on-one relationship. Perhaps you're letting something like that go right now. And this is saying, even though it felt very unique and very special, and it certainly was for that time, there is plenty in the world. There's plenty. You are going to find what that is again. And maybe use this full moon in Pisces, this blue moon, this is a time to kind of allow things to flow in and out, this Pisces energy, to actually let it go and allow something to flow back in, clearing out the blockages in the stream, if that makes sense. All right, what else wants to come through here? The King of Wands. So it feels to me like what started out as messages, the king of air, and I was seeing these as guides, becomes action, becomes transformation, the element of fire. So things that are starting out as thoughts, as wishes, as desires, as prayers, prayer actually, that makes the most resonance with me. I think prayer, what's starting out as prayers will become active transformation and active experience and change in your life. Okay. I think I want 2 cards to round out this message here. Get 2 cards to round out this message. Ride the waves. It says life lessons and growth. You will get through this. Oh my gosh. How it feels like it's just coming through so clear, this message. Oh. It wants the first card. Children. Archangel Metatron. Ride the waves, life lessons and growth. You will get through this. And children. I feel like this is, it almost makes me want to know what's on the other side of the deck as well. 3 of Cups. Yeah. This feels like celebratory, inner child, creative energy. Ride the waves, life lessons and growth. You will get through this. It feels like there's a message here with the 3 of Cups with children. I just felt the need. It's like, I feel like the deck kind of circles back to the other side, and just the fact that like it landed totally on, you know, like not anywhere in the middle. I was like, I think we want the first and the last card as well. So maybe we should put them kind of in this formation here. Ride the waves, life lessons and growth. You will get through this. I think that this is very indicative of this sort of the sense of loss that was coming through earlier, and you will get through this. Life lessons and growth. And not only are you just like riding these waves of what's coming in and out, you're also actively like leveling up. And although you're moving forward, it's almost like you're growing up in a way. You're also becoming more authentic, and in that way, you are connecting to your inner child. And I wonder too if this sense of loss is triggering something that has to do with the inner child loss, whatever that means to you. So wow, just like we started at the beginning of the deck here and then thought, okay, let's go to the end of the deck and tie this in together. I think that in the same way, look at your present moment now as like the latest chapter in your story, and go back to the beginning. Say, all right, how are these relating? How can we make this full circle? And I almost see this as like coming back as an angel in a way to yourself. Maybe even visualize yourself as an angel coming back and hugging that child. And in that way, you're healing a part of yourself, and that is going to help you in the present moment as well. And there's a sense of celebration. There's a sense of flow with this. And once again, action. It's like building and growth. But I think that that has to come first with a release, which we're seeing in the moon as well. It's like the moon is full. We've got this sense of release. And then the moon will once again become new again. And in that point, we're going to be looking at, all right, what are we planting the seeds for, and what are we going to be building? So let me know if this message makes sense to you. The guides card, that's the one that got me. It feels like this is about connecting to your guides and trusting the breadcrumbs, trusting the signs, even if you're like, oh, I feel like this is silly. If it means something to you, it means something to your guides because they know it means something to you. So you're seeing it for a reason. This is an affirmation. And even though you might be at a difficult part of your path, potentially, you are on the right path. All right, let me know what you think in the comments below. Happy full moon. I will see you all tomorrow, Monday, if you're watching this when it came out. Monday, August 28th is when we're gonna do these blue moon readings live. I will see you all live for the stream, hopefully, and either way, have a happy full moon. Please like and subscribe if you haven't, and thank you so much for watching.